When we picture a wealthy person, a very specific image usually comes to mind. We think of sprawling mansions, luxury sports cars, and private jets on the tarmac. This highly visible display is the classic hallmark of new money, a persona defined by experiencing massive resources for the first time. But the actual data tells a different story. This chart visualizes the origins of modern wealth, and it shows that 68. To understand these types, we will analyze them chronologically, moving from the absolute slowest methods to the absolute fastest. We start with old money. These families measure wealth by the capital preserved across generations, focusing on long-term survival over individual spending. The blueprint for this preservation was drawn up by classic American dynasties. Take John D. Rockefeller, shown here. Families like his established an aesthetic of quiet, understated wealth, funneling their capital into enduring assets like fine art and private land. You see the same strategy with figures like Cornelius Vanderbilt, pictured here. The goal for these multi-generational empires is simple: pass down a larger estate to the next generation than the one they originally received. Following a similar timeline are the real estate rich. Their fortunes rely on a basic physical limitation. Land is one of the few things on Earth that cannot be manufactured or duplicated. Because of this, building real estate wealth requires extreme patience, buying and holding properties over decades of compounding value. Then we have the investor rich. They do not create physical products or run storefronts. Instead, they use financial markets, stocks, bonds, and private equity as tools to silently compound their capital in the background. The clearest modern example is Warren Buffett, shown here. He reached massive financial scale without inventing a single product, relying almost entirely on the ability to identify strong assets and hold them tightly. For all three of these groups, time is the ultimate leverage. Their fortunes rely on stoic discipline and long-term holding strategies. As the modern era progressed, that timeline began to compress. Enter the tech rich. These are the founders and engineers who built multi-billion-dollar empires at a velocity previous generations had never witnessed. What started as modest ideas in suburban garages rapidly outpaced the historic monopolies of the oil barons and railroad tycoons. You can see that early founder archetype captured in this photo of a young Bill Gates. Within just 3 decades, those modest startups morphed into some of the largest corporate structures in human history, like the massive Amazon headquarters shown here. Alongside tech founders are the celebrity and athlete rich. Unlike the patient giants, their wealth acquisition is highly urgent. A professional athlete or a top entertainer typically only has a brief 10 to 15-year window of peak earning potential. Survival for this group requires a pivot. The smartest athletes and celebrities treat their fame or contracts as starting capital to be reinvested into business infrastructure immediately. The smartest celebrities execute this pivot by launching their own independent megabrands. Rihanna, picture here, grew her Fenty Beauty line to a valuation that surpassed her entire music catalog. You see the same trajectory with musicians like Jay-Z, shown here in his early office days. He treated his hit records as a springboard to acquire a vast corporate portfolio. For tech, athlete, and celebrity wealth, the entire process is a race. They have to convert that initial burst of momentum into lasting business infrastructure before their brief window of maximum relevance closes. And then the timeline disappeared entirely. This physical representation of an Ethereum coin highlights the crypto-rich, a category that compressed the multi-decade journey of traditional real estate into a matter of months. But zero wait time comes with extreme risk. These fortunes were frequently built overnight by young risk takers, making the assets highly volatile and frequently lost just as they are geared. This lack of friction mirrors the inheritor. This is a specific type of wealth, transferred in a single lump sum, requiring zero elapsed time or active effort from the recipient. When money arrives instantly, it bypasses the learning curve of building a business. Managing wealth is a separate skill, and it is not automatically passed down along with the money. If we step away from the tech billionaires and hyper-fast crypto fortunes, we find a different statistical reality. The most common type of millionaire in the world is virtually invisible. This is the quiet rich. They are ordinary professionals working as teachers, mechanics, or accountants. They deploy zero flash and experience no sudden dramatic wealth events. Researchers call them saver investors. They drive used cars, live in modest homes, and clip coupons, systematically funneling a portion of their income into investment accounts every single day for a full 30 or more years. Building a massive fortune is often a loud, high-speed event. Staying rich is a quiet, lifelong habit.